Morning everyone, welcome back. Today's little task, if I can sort it, is I'm going to try and fit that TV. It's got a little DVD player in and what have you. I'm going to try and fit that up here, and my plan is to use these fully extending drawer runners, two of them, so that it pushes back and sits nicely out the way, but when I want to watch it, it can slide out to about here. So when I'm nice and comfy tucked up in bed or just sat relaxing, I'm in perfect mode here for the TV. And it's just working it all out now, trying to see if any of the pre-drilled holes that are there actually line up with the 4 screws on the back. If not, we're gonna have to do a bit of drilling and jigging about and what have you, but I'll get a bit of working out done, and then I'll fetch you back and we'll have a look, see how this goes. Right, so roughly speaking, that's where I want the TV to be able to fold back to. It can't go any further back than these, obviously, because they're in the way, and I still want these shelves. So when it's right up here at the top, I'm not going to lose a lot off of here, so I should still have plenty of space here. So what I've got is, like I said, these drawer runners. Which way around? Oh, that's the way they go. So I've got a strengthening batten here. So what I'm going to have to do to get these to sit straight, obviously, is to make a packing block the same size at this end, and then I can fasten each end onto the ply. Then what I was hoping was that the holes in the side that comes out, there's numerous holes, as you can see, dotted about. I was hoping that 2 of those were just going to work for me, but of course they won't. So what I've got basically is, I don't think I'm going to be able to drill near this rivet, because that's where the release mechanism is. So I think if I use the one that's just at the back of that rivet there, lined up with that screw, which means this one doesn't quite work. So what I'm going to have to do is mark it up and re-drill this one so it lines up with that screw, and then that'll go down flat that way and they'll screw straight in, and then this section, then I'll be able to screw onto here, onto the block, top and bottom, get it positioned in, and hopefully it should slide in and out nicely and do what it's supposed to do. But as always, this is all let's have a look, see what it does. There's no technical work here, so I will go back into the sawdust shack. We'll get the drill press set up and slide these out, mark them up, and get both of these drilled first, and then we'll get the saw going, cut some blocks, or I might even do it 2 full strips actually, and then I can get plenty of screws in these back ones to give it plenty of support, so it's not going to go anywhere, because this plywood is only I think it's 12mm, so it's not going to give me a lot to screw into. So I might just do a full batten and glue and screw it on so it's totally secured, and then we'll see where we get to from there. Right, see you in a mo. Right, so I've taken one of the runners out, and as you can see, what I've done is just line the hole we're going to use up with the screw, and then the other one I've just eyed it down and put a pen mark where we need to drill the other one. And then to find out what size hole we need, I've simply gone through my set of drill bits, slotting them in until one fits. So that's now in the drill press. Right, so what we've done is I've had to get a little block to put this on, because if that goes too far down, what it does, the chuck hits the fence. So I've just raised it up and I've adjusted the back fence and locked it off now with these, so that, as you can see, the drill just nicely goes through where we want it to, so it keeps it in line there. So what I'm going to do now is slide it across to where our mark is, and then re-drill a hole here in both of them. And then when we put it back together, hopefully, if we've done things right, the screws on the back of the TV should go straight in there. So I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to film this or not. Let's give it a go. Next step now is just whip these screws out, put these in position, screw them in place, and then we can build the sliders back up, go back out to the van and try and see how we position them and what we need to sort that bit out. If this all goes to plan and works, this is actually going to work out a lot simpler than I expected. So for a change, things might be going right, but I've probably just cased it now. We'll see in a minute. Right, what's happened here is I've got this hole, I've not quite marked it right, it's just a bit too far this way, so I'm just going to have to file it down a little bit that way. Right, what I've done, I've just elongated that hole with the Dremel, so that now should line us up. Let's have a look. Right, so then these should slide back onto there. And hopefully that should be how they work. Once they go back in the van. What we've done here now is, as you can see, I've got two pencil marks there and there. I've offered the TV up to where I want it, and that's the centre line of the screws that are on the back of the bracket. So the pencil line is centred on those screw holes there. So now what I need to do is to measure how deep this channel is, and then cut two battens that I can fasten across there, so it fetches this flush, so then I've got something flush and level for the hinges to fasten onto. So we'll give that a measure up. So that is 42 mil. So we need to cut 2 battens now, 42 mil by 360. So 42 by 360. Right, so I've just said we know these lines are the centre of our screw, so we know our screws want to be roughly centred to that. So we line these up more or less centre and run them across, then we know that the screws are going to hit. Now, cutting these on the miter saw, I know these are 90 degrees. We know that's straight, or straight as we need it. So as long as that's flushed up to that, it doesn't matter about the curve of the ceiling. These are at 90 degrees, which is what we want. So I'm going to fetch that down a little bit so the back end touches. Just draw around that for a minute. Then I'm going to drill some holes in there, and then bob the plank back on, and then drill it from the other side to give it a bit of, and then double it up. There's 2 of them, should fetch us level. So doubling them up fetches us level with them, which is what we want. There we go. Right, because we're screwing from the other side, what I'm going to do is just cheat a little bit and use some of the 2-part glue just to bob it on. Hold that for a few seconds. That's got that. I brought some screws, there we are. And just repeat the process with the bottom one. Right, we just piloted these And these are just going to go straight on top now, like that. Screw them in place, then the brackets can go on. Right, that's it in, all screwed up and done. As you can see, you can just see the brackets, but not too bothered about that. And it does pull out exactly to where I want it, so that when I'm laid in bed, oh, let's get comfy. There we are, I've got my telly straight in front of me. So it's gone a lot better than I thought, actually. So now what I'm trying to do is figure out, this is obviously the power pack for it. So I think what I'm going to try and do is I'm just going to chisel some of the wood out here and then see if I can get the power pack to slot in there. So all in all, like I say, it's gone a lot better than I thought. And once I've got it all sorted, I'll just grab some paint, touch all this up, paint all this in, so it just neatens it all up. And we're away. So I'm going to get this chiselled out, and then once I've got that done, we'll have a look, see how it works. Right, so we've got that in there now. Just going to test the TV and see if it slides back past it. I'm hoping it does. Lovely. All the way in and all the way back out. Yeah, so I think the plan with this is now I'm going to get the hot glue gun going and hot glue that cable to there to keep that in place, and then I'm going to glue this cable to the top of the TV like that to keep that out the way and in place, and hopefully it should all fold in and out quite neatly then. Hopefully that'll hold it, but we'll see. Might want a bit more. Good things, these glue guns, but they're a faff to use. You've got to wait till the glue cools right down, otherwise it just pulls itself off. That got it? Not quite. Seems to have it in there. Some on this end. Right, there we are, all in, all working. I've got that all glued to there. The other cable I've glued to the back of the TV. That comes round. I've got plugged into a cigarette mains plug I've just got there, and slides in and back out quite nicely. And absolutely perfect for when I'm sat here on an evening. It couldn't have gone any better, I don't think. It certainly went a lot easier than I thought it was going to do. It's another little job done. So same again, if it's been of help to you or you've enjoyed it or whatever, give us a like and subscribe. Thanks a lot, see you next time.